Imagine losing 40 pounds in 6 months without counting a single calorie, without sacrificing your favorite foods or your social mode. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what happened for my client Adam, and in this video, I'm gonna break down 7 strategies he used to drop fat effortlessly without tracking calories. So Adam has been lifting weights for quite a few years, but never was able to get down to 15% body fat or less to see his abs. So he tried keto, he tried fasting, he tried counting calories, and for some of these methods, he'd see results for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month, but he was never able to sustain those results. Then he realized he needed an approach that was gonna last him decades instead of weeks. That's how he found me on Twitter. We had a conversation. 6 months later, he transformed his body. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 7 strategies we use to achieve these results. Number 1, focusing on the protein percentage of each meal. So of course, everyone talks about, oh, you gotta eat your protein intake, and people debate what's the ideal protein intake. Anywhere from 0.7 grams to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight will be sufficient. But how do we hit this protein intake, right? Especially if you're used to, the government recommendation, 50 grams a day, eating 150 to 200 grams of protein is no easy feat. So the easiest way to achieve this is by breaking it down in the protein percentage of each meal. For Adam, we set the goal of making sure each meal was at least 40% protein, and what this did was it automatically allowed him to hit his daily protein intake. And because protein is the most satiating nutrient, he automatically regulated how much he'd eat. If he would eat a low protein meal, he can continue to eat and eat and eat. But if every single meal is high in protein, you're gonna be pretty full. Just think about this. Think about how easy it is to eat 1,000 calories of pizza or ice cream. Like, you and I could do that in 5 minutes. Compare that to eating 1,000 calories of egg whites or chicken breast. Like, that is miserable. Like, I don't even think I could do 700 calories of that. It's just so filling. Strategy number 2, we reduced liquid calories by at least 90%. The only liquid calories Adam consumed were tequila and Diet Cokes and protein shakes. He was used to having juices and sodas in the past, so we just substituted them for sparkling water, regular water, of course, and diet soda. Minimizing liquid calories is probably the easiest way you can reduce your overall calorie intake without tracking it. And the reason this is so effective is because liquid calories are not filling whatsoever. Instead of having a juice, just have the real fruit. Instead of having soda, just have diet soda. And of course, make sure to have 3 to 4 liters of water a day. Strategy number 3, we focus on high satiety carbs. Satiety means how filling something is. So if your goal is fat loss, you obviously want to be as full as possible on your diet. Because if you're always hungry, if you're just having these teeny tiny meals, you're gonna have to rely on willpower to stick to it and not binge on your favorite fast foods and not give in to your craving. But if you make it a key emphasis to make sure every meal is high in protein and also high in satiety, you'll be full after every meal. You won't even think about, snacking on those Oreo cookies in your top shelf. The best high satiety carbs are white potatoes, sweet potatoes, and vegetables. If you make sure every single meal of yours, or realistically around 70 to 80% of your meals, contain a high satiety carb, you'll be a lot more full after each meal, and your cravings will be easier to manage. White potatoes and sweet potatoes are the definition of a low calorie dense food, which means there's very little amount of calories for a big serve. And even though we didn't track calories, that doesn't mean we ignored them. Calories exist whether we like it or not, but there are things we can focus on so that you're automatically in a calorie deficit without tracking everything, such as high satiety carbs. Strategy number 4, we make cardio fun. I'm tired of seeing all these high intensity workouts and coaches programming their clients to do hour-long jogs. That's just not fun, and if you don't look forward to it, you're never going to be consistent. And the truth is, whether you're going on a hike, playing sports, swimming, or going on a jog, it doesn't matter which form of cardio you do. As long as you enjoy it, it will be consistent. So Adam's favorite form of cardio was basketball. So what he did was he played pickup basketball in the nearest YMCA twice a week for 30 minutes. And we never tracked the amount of calories he burned, but this did help him keep a high activity levels and keep his metabolism running. On weekends, he would also go on hike dates a couple times a month just to increase his step count and increase his activity levels while obviously being social. Strategy number 5, we made his sleep a priority. Research shows that the average sleep-deprived person consumes an additional 500 calories per day. And that makes sense considering when you are sleep-deprived, your hunger hormone goes through the roof. So it's a lot harder to practice portion control and fight off your cravings. Main things we focused on were start aiming for 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, a consistent sleep schedule on weekends as well. 30 minutes before bed, he turned off all screens, drank chamomile tea, took his sleep supplements, which consisted of magnesium glycinate and glycine. He just relaxed, did some activities that consisted in his pre-bed routine. If you want to see the entire video breaking down everything you need to know to achieve optimal sleep, I'm going to link that in the description below. Strategy 6 was his training split. We started off with 2 full body workouts a week and then implemented an additional third day where he focused on his shoulders and arms, which were the muscle groups that he wanted to prioritize. The reason we started with just 2 workouts a week is because regarding muscle growth and recovery, the main things that you want to prioritize are frequency and intensity. The last thing you want to do is a 5, 6 day week bodybuilder split where it's like Monday legs, Tuesday chest, Wednesday back, Thursday arms, Friday shoulders. That split horrible for muscle growth because you're only able to train each muscle group once a week, and 20 minutes into your workout you're already fatigued physically and mentally. But when you train full body workouts, the amount of times you train full body is the amount of time you train each muscle, so you're maximizing frequency and you're able to train very intensely because you only have a couple sets per muscle group. And when you're in a fat loss phase, you're not eating that much, so it's going to be hard to recover from a very extensive, rigorous training split. And finally, strategy number 7 is we track his progress with weekly progress pictures and daily weigh. So our goal here was to lose 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds a week. If he lost 1.2 pounds a week, that was all good. That's still headed in the right direction. But anytime you would lose less than 0.5 pounds a week, we look back and assess his training, his nutrition, and his sleep over the last week and see if there was any slip-ups that we could address. If not, we would take away something from his nutrition. So for example, 2 months into the program, he had a slight plateau, and all we did was made his breakfast slightly lower calorie. So he was having like 5 eggs and some chicken sausage for breakfast. All we did was made it so we would have 2 eggs plus 3 additional egg whites, and instead of chicken sausage we just added some ham. So we just reduced the calories of his breakfast by around 30 to 40% while keeping the protein high, and that was enough to get him back to losing weight at that sweet spot of 1.5 to 2 pounds a week. So it's important that you track your progress so you know if your rate of progress is aligned with your goals, and the benefit of this is you can make adjustments very quick as opposed to waiting 2-3 months realizing, oh shit, I haven't made any progress. But the scale only tells one part of the picture. Of course, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time, which is why we took weekly progress pictures to ensure he was getting leaner visually as well. And of course, he would report back on how he was feeling in terms of energy levels, how clothes were fitting, and how workouts go. Not only did Adam lose 40 pounds without counting a single calorie, his energy doubled, he made more sales than he's ever had in his life, and he just felt a lot more confident with his body, was translated into his relationships, his work, and every other aspect of his life. A wise man once said, lifting weights is the catalyst to self-improvement. And even if you follow just 3 or 4 of these 7 strategies, you will see an improvement in your progress. But to see the best progress, you do want to follow all 7 of these strategies. And if that's too overwhelming, just start with the first 3. Once you're consistent with that, add the 4th and 5th strategy. Then once you're consistent with that, add the 6th and 7th strategy. Fitness is a long game. So instead of, trying to track your calories and completely restrict yourself to see maybe faster results over a 2-3 month period, focus on the fundamentals. Focus on what's going to be sustainable for years and even decades as opposed to what you can do for 6 to 8 weeks. If you have this mindset, you might see slightly slower progress, but you know that when you achieve your end goal, you're going to be able to maintain it with ease. Here's a quick video about what Adam had to say about his experience working with me.
Shout out to Coach Raj. I've been working with him for 3 months now. I'm down over 20 pounds. Super happy with my progress. Super happy with how things are going. Dialing in my nutrition was always something hard for me. So he's made super clear, concise guidelines for me that's helped me lose 20 pounds. Haven't tracked a single calorie. Haven't felt super restricted. Didn't give up any of my favorite foods. Just everything in moderation. Workouts with him, they started off slow and simple and kind of built up over time, getting more complex. So I was always challenged. A few times I hit a plateau. We just made a quick adjustment and just the pounds kept coming off, which was super nice to see. Everything just overall super clear, super concise. We got my sleep kind of dialed in, feeling a lot better overall, more energized, and just a lot happier with the way I look, the way I feel.
Even though Adam's transformation was epic, he was nowhere near perfect throughout the whole time. He had a couple days where he didn't track his body weight, or he had weekends where he drank a little too much, or he had workouts where he just could only do half of it. But the important thing is, even when he had minor hiccups, he always come back to the plan and he had a bigger vision. He always saw what the long-term goal was, and he knew that nothing was going to stop him there as long as he stuck to the plan. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button and comment down below what you'd like to see next. Appreciate you.